Hey y'all, and good morning. It is January 9th, 2026. That's crazy to even be saying that right now. Like, wow. Anyway, as you can see, I'm on my way to work again. Thank God it's Friday because I do not work tomorrow or Sunday because Chick-fil-A is closed on Sundays. So, yeah. But anyways, I guess we're still at the getting to know you phase. Yesterday I just shared a couple of things, a little rant, I guess you would say. I feel like having a vocal platform is important. And if you're going to do it, you have to respect it and you have to honor the position of influence that you could possibly be in, because there is a level of influence that you have over people or with people. So to me it's important that, you know, what I put out is, one, it's inspirational, two, it's encouraging, you know, provoking us to become a better people, helping us to expand and think outside the box of what we expect and what we think, because God is bigger than anything that we could ever imagine. I mean, I was thinking the other day, like, how just God created our bodies, you know, to even down to the simple fact of being able to carry a child, bring another human into this world. Like, you know how much effort and work it takes to have a baby. For me, the carrying part was never really like a challenge. It's the aftermath after having the baby, raising the child. And if you mate with a person who just isn't a good example, you know, that can be hard. Trying to co-parent with an individual who could be very childish and immature. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter about why you and I are not together. What matters is the child. As I think back about how I grew up, my life, what type of parent I wanted my parents to be, and the parent that I want to be to my children, if we're not careful as aunties, uncles, grandmamas, granddaddies, sister brothers, mama daddies, if we're not careful in how we, you know, parent our children, help our kids, it can really mess them up in adulthood and have them struggling in areas that probably they wouldn't have struggled in had we been more attentive as a parent. You know, in getting to know me, you might hear me talk a lot about children. I love kids. I feel that my heart and my passion is for the youth of this generation. When I was growing up, we had a youth leader, but she wasn't, I guess, wasn't really transparent. We had youth nights, but it was more so we just getting together as a group of young people in a church setting and playing games. We did have maybe like some Bible study time, but there was never, I guess you would say, relatability. That's one thing that I struggled with growing up with my parents is relatability. All they want to talk about is Jesus, 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 Jesus. But I am experiencing life issues and life things, and I felt like I couldn't come to them and talk to them about anything because they just didn't get it. And it's okay because we are products of our environment. My parents got married. Well, they had an arranged marriage. My mother was 17, my dad was 18, and one day my mom got off the school bus. My dad, my grandmother, and my grandfather were waiting for my mother, and when she had got off the school bus, they told her that they was taking her and my dad downtown for them to be married. And at that time, you still had to have parental consent if you were under the age of 18. And it's still, current today that you still have to have parental consent if you're under the age of 18 to get married. But, so yeah, my parents had an arranged marriage. So my parents got married young. They hung around older couples because they really didn't have an example of what marriage was supposed to be like in their own homes. Like my dad's dad, he cheated on my grandmother throughout their marriage, and then she ended up dying early in life because my granddaddy was just stressing her out, but she also had health issues too. But the same with my mom's mom. She gave birth to 25 children, and my grandfather was an alcoholic, and he didn't help my grandma take care of the house. Like, he worked, he used his money for what he wanted to use it for, and so forth, but my grandmother, she died early in life as well. But both my grandfathers lived to be 100. They say it's hard to kill mean, but the sweet ones be dying first, and the mean ones, they still be living on. That hate be too strong. I guess that's why they still be rocking the boat in a sense. But yeah, life for me ain't been no crystal stair, and that's okay because it shaped me and helped me to become the woman that I am today. I'm not bitter, I'm better, and I'm getting better and better in every day, in every way of my life. It's important to me to be a good example for those who are around me, because you never know who watching. Folks always watching you. Even when you think ain't nobody looking at you, they looking. And people may be able to say a lot of things about me, but one thing they're not going to be able to say about me is that I'm a liar, a cheat, and a swindler. Not going to be able to say that. I'm very transparent with my feelings. A lot of times my face say it before my mouth does. And then sometimes my face and my mouth say it. But the idea, the goal objective is to keep pushing, to keep thriving, to never give up. Life can throw a couple of punches, but I know that I'm only this far in my life because of the grace of God. Nobody but the Lord. Nobody but the Lord. When I tried to take my own life at the age of 27, and my son was 15 months old at that time. He was actually in his crib, and I was in my bed. We shared a room, and I was in my bed, and I took those pills trying to take myself out because of the feelings of abandonment, rejection, not feeling worthy, not feeling good enough, not feeling accepted. And just some other issues in life that, you know, I thought I had coped with, even down to my divorce. You know, it takes a while to heal from things like that. And people don't think that you grieve over divorce just because, like, y'all didn't get along and y'all ended on bad terms, but you still do grieve that relationship, that marriage. And you want to know, why did you grieve it? If you grieved it, that's crazy. Sorry, a car just literally did some wild stuff. Thank God I was going slow enough, otherwise she'd have popped me. But I think that we, in the grieving process, it's the loss of, you know, divorce is a cutting away, a loss of, to take away. And that can be hard, especially if, you know, you really loved and cared about your relationship, your mate. However it ended, even if you feel like you didn't care, there still is a phase and a stage in life where you cared about that person at one point in your life. And so there are some things that, you know, you will be upset about in the losing process. Not that you didn't want not be with them anymore, but it's still a cutting away a part of your life and a disconnection. And sometimes those things can be painful, even though it's necessary. But God is great regardless. I'm here at work now, and we will continue this conversation when I get off. I thank y'all for listening. Thank you for riding with me on my way to work. And I hope you guys have a blessed and prosperous day. Peace and love.